Hello everyone, it's Mr. Montgomery again with today's next math lesson. So today we are on lesson 7-4. Okay, so unit 7, lesson 4, and the page we need to be on is page 297. 297. If you're not on that page yet, pause the video, flip to that page in your workbook, and then whenever you're ready, hit the space bar again to play the video, okay? And when you get to this page, you're going to see a big 120 chart again. So we're going to be working with this chart a little bit. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what I was talking about yesterday with how this 120 chart will help you so much when you are maybe counting by 10s or 1s. And because we're going to do something a little bit different today than what we did yesterday and day before. It's actually really, really cool. And we're going to see if we notice a pattern. We know all about patterns already, and this is going to be a really fun lesson. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear my paper. Okay, so now there's a few different things we're going to do, and you're actually going to need 3 crayons. That's right, we're going to use crayons for math today because, well, crayons and coloring are fun, and we're going to make math a little fun. So we're going to need yellow, we are going to need red, and we are also going to need blue. So make sure you get those 3 colors, yellow, red, and blue. Again, if you need to pause the video, hit that spacebar, pause the video, go get your crayons, or you can even use colored pencils if you like. Either one is fine. Just please no markers, because that will just bleed right through the paper and it will really mess with your work on the next page. So crayons or colored pencils, please. All right. So if the video is still playing, I am going to guess that you have your crayons ready, that you paused the video if you needed to, and we're just good to go. So there are 3 different things that we're going to do here for this 120 chart. So the first part says count by 10s, starting at the number 10. Color the numbers you count yellow. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to pick this. 1 second, let me get my yellow ready. Here we go. So what they want us to do is find 10 on our 120 chart. And we're going to just lightly color it yellow, not super dark. We want to make sure we can still read it. And then we're going to count by 10s from there. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and go ahead and we're just going to color as we count. 80, 90, 100, 110, and 120. Now, what did you notice about counting by 10s from 10? What is the pattern? Well, you might have noticed, well, I believe we actually talked about before, but remember, when we count by 10s, the only number that's changing is the tens place. I'm going to make a little underline here. The tens house is the only thing that changes every time you count by 10s. Nothing else changes. Except for when you get to 100, because you can't have 10 10s, right? We can't. Once we have 10 10s, we have to take that set of 10, or I'm sorry, that huge, it's like a huge big bundle of 10 bundles. If you guys are in my class, you know what a bundle is. It's 10 straws put together with a rubber band, right? We can't have 10 of those in the 10's house, right? It's too much because it makes 100. So now we have to bump that over to the hundreds place. So that's the only part that gets really tricky. And then after that, the only number that changes again is the 10's house. So it goes back to only changing the 10's house again. So you see the 10's place changing, right? And once you get to 90 and we had 100, we had a hundreds place. And then it goes back to just changing the tens place again. That's it. That's it. So the next part I'm going to read. I'm going to have you guys kind of have fun with this one on your own. Okay. It says count by ones starting at 102. Starting at 102, we're going to draw a red square around the numbers. Okay, so I'm going to start off real quick, help you find 102, and it's boom, it's right down here. You keep going down side till you hit hundreds, find 102, and you're just going, oh, I have the wrong color, silly me. Okay, there we go. And you're just going to make a red square inside of the square, just right around the outside, okay? And you're going to count on by ones all the way to the end of the row. So I'll let you go do that for a quick second. All right, if you're not done, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure you're going in the right direction here. So now, remember, when we count by ones, we go sideways because we're only getting bigger by 1 in the ones house. So after 102, it goes to 103, then 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, and then we actually go into 110. That's that column that we colored in right here. Oh, and let me just review this real quick, guys. Now, if I am going from left to right, going this way, these are rows. So going from 1 to 10, that's a row. Going from 11 to 20, that is another row. Now, when we go from top to bottom, okay, this is called a column. When we go up and going from top to bottom or bottom to top, this is a column. So you'll hear me say those words quite a bit whenever we are working with a 100 chart. So I just want to make sure I make that very clear before we go any further. But yeah, you see that when we count by ones, the only number that changes is the ones house, of course, until we get to 10, and then we have to put a number in the tens house. And then it just starts all over again. Okay? Now, our last part is we are going to get our blue. Okay? Get our blue ready. And it says draw a blue circle around the numbers. Okay, but this time we're counting by tens, and we're starting at 34. So starting at 34, where is it? We're going to go down the side here till we hit 30s, boom. Then we need a 4 in the ones house, and it's right there. So this time we're going to draw a circle around this 34, and it wants you to go on by tens, counting on by tens from 34, and we're going to draw a blue circle around it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. From 34, well, if we're counting by tens, remember we have to use the column. The column, going from top to bottom, it counts by tens. And then if you go in a row, going from side to side, that goes by ones. So we have to go down, going to circle the 44, and then 54, 64, 74, 84, 94, 104, man, big number, and then 114. Now again, just like this column over here, what changed when we were circling these numbers? What changes when you count on by tens from 34? If you're saying that the tens place changes, you are correct. See, that is the only number that is changing every time. 34, 44, 54, 64, right? The tens increases by 1 each time. the ones house. This 4 does not change if we are counting by tens. It will not change ever as long as you are counting by tens. I promise. It will never ever change. Never. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and turn to the next page and do some practice problems. All right, now we are on page 298. I'm going to circle that at the bottom of the screen there. 298. Just double check your page number before we continue, because if you're not on that page, please do me a favor and pause the video. Make sure you're on the right page first. Okay, or else you might get a little lost. I don't want that to happen. Don't want that to happen at all. All right. So let's continue. So again, they gave us a little 120 chart on this page to help us out. If that is too hard to see, you feel free to flip backwards one page to look at the bigger 120 chart, okay? If that helps you out, that's fine. Do whatever works for you. If this is a good enough size on this page and you can read that 120 chart just fine, awesome. Either way works, okay? So let me switch to my pen here. Okay. So it says for number 1, we're just going to count on by ones. That's it. That's all we're going to do. They gave us a start, 112, 113, 114. And then, of course, we know that the next number is 115. You know what? Let me zoom in a little bit here, so it's a little bit easier to see. And then we just go ahead and fill these in. And you notice that as we fill these in, the only numbers that are really changing are the ones place, which is the 5, the 6, the 7, right? It goes up by 1 each time. Nothing else is really changing until we reach a whole new set of 10. And just like I was just saying, so that last number, the only thing that changes, since you now have 10 ones, you have to make a set of 10. And now we have a whole new set of 10. 1 in the hundreds. We now have we have 2 10s, and we have 0 ones. Remember, once you get to 10 in the ones, you cannot put 10 ones in the ones house. It just gets too crowded. So then they have to jump on over to the 10's house, right? And it becomes just an extra 1. A new 1 set of 10. So now, and of course, like I was saying before, if we needed some extra help with that problem for number 1, you can always look up here at the top and find, okay, and think to yourself, okay, where is 114? It's right there. And then I can count forward going from left to right. Because when you count by ones, you stay in that row. Unless you get to the end of the row and then you have to keep going, you got to drop down and then go all the way back to the beginning of that row. But just remember, count by ones, you go from left to right on the 120 chart. Okay, now we're going to try number 2. Except this time you're going to try number 2 all on your own. And it says you are going to count by tens. All right? So try number 2 on your own. If you need help, the 120 chart is at the top of your page. And remember, when you are counting by tens on the 120 chart, you go from top to bottom. You stay in a column. All right? Remember, when you go from top to bottom, that is a column. Okay, so go ahead and try number 2 all on your own. Okay, if you are not done yet, that is okay. Pause the video, hit that space bar until you are all ready to go, and then hit the space bar again to play the video. Now, let's pretend we weren't too sure how to count by tens. I know a lot of us are very comfortable with this, but we're just going to pretend that we have no idea what to do. We have no idea, and that's okay. So, what we can do is we can just go up here to our 120 chart, and we know that we're starting at 22. So I go down side till I see the 20s, and then I find 22. It's right there. Let me zoom in just a smidge here. Okay, and then we move downwards. We are going from top to bottom. So 22, 32, 42, 52, 62, 72. And then you just keep on going all the way down that column. That is how you would use the 120 chart to help you. So let's go ahead and fill these in. Make sure you check your work to make sure that it matches mine. All right. Just to make sure we didn't make any mistakes. Right. It's okay if we make mistakes as long as we learn from them. So 42, we would have 52 next. And after that, we'd have 62. Remember, when we count by tens, the only number that's really changing is the tens house. Then 72, 82, 92. Now this is where it gets tricky, because once we have another set of 10, it has to move over to the hundreds. We can't have a 10 in the tens house. It's too big of a number. So we have 1 in the 100s. We have 0 tens now. And then we have 2 1s. So it goes from 92 to 102. And of course, you can see this on the 120 chart. That's why we have these charts to help us. So after 92 up here, oh, that's really sloppy. Let me fix that. So 92 up here, right? And the next number down is 102. It's right there. So we will always have these charts with us to help us out. So don't get too nervous, and then you're just going to get used to it. Trust me. After practicing so much, you will get used to this. I know at first it might seem a little scary, but that's okay. Okay, next, I want you to try number 3 all on your own. Let me change up the color of my marker here. So try number 3. It says that they want us to count by ones from 90 all the way down, okay? So they gave us 90, 91, 92, go all the way down. I gave you guys a few seconds to sort that one out. Okay, if you're not done, that's okay. Pause the video, hit the spacebar until you're ready, then hit the spacebar again to play. Now, if we didn't know what we were doing, right? If we had no idea how to count on by ones and we wanted to use the 120 chart, we can absolutely do that. So if we go over here, we just kind of go down the side till we see the 90s, right? A 9 in the tens house. Here we go. 91. And then we can just count on 92, 93. And remember, the only number it changes is the ones place. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, and it keeps on going. We go across from left to right in a row when we were counting by ones. So let's go ahead and fill those in. Make sure you check your work, because sometimes, even though we might understand it, sometimes we make simple mistakes, and that happens all the time to all of us. So after 92, we have 93. Then we have 94, 95, 96, 97, and then 98. Okay, so at this time, if you are not in my class and you have a different teacher, please make sure you stop the video here. Let your teacher know that you have completed all the guided practice problems and ask her what she would like you to do all on your own. for my friends in my classroom, we are going to do an assignment that is on our Google Classroom classwork page. Remember to get to our assignment on Google Classroom. Okay, I'm going to switch over to my browser real quick. Click on that man in the blue box, and you're going to click on the word classwork. It's where we have all of our assignments. And then it'll say 7-4. Quick check. And there will be 5 problems for you to solve all on your own. Okay? After that, you can go ahead and practice your skills on Pink Cat games, have some fun, and I will talk to you guys later. I hope this video helped. I hope that you are understanding everything. If not, if you're confused about anything at all, please let me know. Let me know if you are confused, if you need extra help. And always, I will be online after school from 2:30 until 3. So, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day.